Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Ram,
एक आराम से
Hare
सुबह सुबह कम बोलो, काम ज्यादा करो।
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। Please forgive me to stop you from the ecstatic chanting. Today's quote on chanting by His Grace Gaurang Das Prabhuji. Chanting the name of the Lord Krishna turns despairs into hope and sorrows into joy. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I am Pooja from Sydney. May I know who have joined today?
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunja Rasadas from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna, Puja Mataji and all the Assembly devotees. Dharma Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shamarasika Devidasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Gadadhar Prabhuji from Tennessee, and today Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17 and verse 34 onward. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please take over the call.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, everyone, and Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and the present gurus. So we will be starting with Mangalacharan. Om Agyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yutpat Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sargan Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijan Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapat Kanchan Gorangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kaltarubhaischa Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. And the glory verses glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagvat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shaloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Shranvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hirdayantostoe Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhat Satam. Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who resides in everyone's heart as Supersoul, Paramatma, and is the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed an urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 6. Canto 6 is Prescribed Duties for Mankind. And we are reading from chapter number 17, where Mother Parvati curses Chitraketu. So, in this pastime, we are almost done with this pastime, where we see that this chapter is basically, we have seen Vratasur, even though he was born in as a demon, but he was a great devotee of the Lord. And after killing him, Indra had to incur sinful reactions for that. So we will see, in this chapter, this Chitraketu, he basically gets cursed by Mother Parvati. So we all see that, Chitraketu, we have see, he had multiple births. So we saw, he, in the previous birth, he did not had any son. So he, by blessings from Sage Angira, he got a son. And then, he lost the son at an early age. And he was the only son who would have carried on the kingdom. So he was all in lamentation, Chitraketu. Then Narad Muni enlightened him, and based on the instructions of Narad Muni, Chitraketu meditated on the Lord, and he was able to have an audience with the Lord, and by blessings of the Lord, he was he used to be moving in an aeroplane, chanting the because with the he was basically he got up his place in Vidyadhar planet, where he used to engage in congregational chanting while flying in the aeroplane. So one time when he was wandering in the bowers of Sumeru mountain, or so he saw Mother Lord Shiva. He was having Mother Parvati sitting on his lap now, and he was addressing. Lord Shiva was in the assembly of Charna, Siddha, great sages, and Lord Shiva was giving spiritual instructions, and Mother Parvati was in his lap, so we see Chitraketu, who was flying from the air from the sky. So he saw that scene where Mother Parvati was on Lord Shiva's lap, and and Chitraketu was basically, he laughed out, and Mother Parvati was offended, and she cursed Chitraketu. But Chitraketu, on the other side, being a pure devotee of the Lord, he did not get scared of Mother Parvati's curse, and he speaks out very nice philosophy, Krishna conscious philosophy, that this human society enjoys the happiness and distress according to their past deeds and all, and So like as long as we are in this material world, whether in the higher planetary system or the lower planetary system, no, we are still in the material world. No, so none of these positions within the material world, higher or lower, can satisfy us because they are all temporary. So we saw, and no, only the Lord can help us, the living entities, to come out of this external energy, because Lord is in charge of both material and spiritual world. Only by His blessings we can come out of this situation. So we see that Chitraketu had, he was equally powerful by being a devotee of the Lord to counter curse Mother Parvati, no, but he did not do that. And by these uh, uh, these melodious message that he gave, Mother Parvati was also astonished about that. And then Lord Shiva begins to speak and glorify the devotees of the Lord, like how the devotees of the Lord are neutral in every situation. No, so now we see Lord Shiva is beginning to glorify the devotees of the Lord, their greatness. Being in association with the Lord, they imbibe the same qualities as that of the Lord. No, so that's why Chitraketu was not afraid, or he was not offended that he had to counter curse Mother Parvati. So he did not do any of that, and he humbly accepted the curse. And this Chitraketu then became Vratasur, which was, and after being killed by Indra, that demon Vratasur was, he went back home, back to Godhead. So this pastime, it spread across multiple chapters. And there also, as in the Vratasur body also, like he had, he showed his wonderful qualities as a devotee of the Lord, where Indra, he was telling Indra, like how he can be, that he should use the weapon that was being suggested by Lord Vishnu to kill him, so that when Indra is killing him in that Vratasur body, he can meditate on the Lord and go back home, back to Godhead. So that was wonderful. So this Chitraketu, so we are reading from his this wonderful chapter about the wonderful qualities of this devotee. So now Lord Shiva is glorifying the devotees of the Lord. So we are in that context, and we will continue with that in this today's verses as well. So we are having verses 34 and 35. They are together. So we'll read the verses, read the translation and purport, and then we will have a small discussion. So 34 and 35 together. If you all want to, like anybody want to read, they can read as well together. Tasya chaham mahabhagas Chitraketu priyo anugaha sarvatra samadrikshanto ayam cheva chuta priya tasmana vishamaya karya purusheshu mahatmasu mahapurusha bhakteshu shanteshu sama drisheshu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. This magnanimous Chitraketu is a dear devotee of Lord. He is equal to all living entities, and he is free from attachment and hatred. Similarly, I am also very dear to Lord Narayan. Therefore, no one should be astonished to see the activities of the most exalted devotees of Narayan, for they are free from attachment and envy. They are always peaceful, and they are equal to everyone. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyaha Na Bujaya. One should not be astonished to see the activities of exalted, liberated Vaishnavas, as one should not be misled by the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should also not be misled by the activities of his devotees. Both the Lord and his devotees are liberated. They are on the same platform. The only difference being that the Lord is the master and the devotees are servants. qualitatively they are one and the same. In Bhagavad Gita 9:29, the Lord says, Samo aham sarva bhuteshu name dveshayo astina priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai te teshu chapi aham. Translation to that: I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is the friend is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Quotes close. From this statement by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is clear that devotees of the Lord are always extremely dear to him. In effect, Lord Shiva told Parvati, both Chitraketu and I are always very dear to the Supreme Lord. In other words, both he and I are on the same level as servants of the Lord. We are always friends, and sometimes we enjoy joking words between us. When Chitraketu loudly laughed at my behavior, he did so on friendly terms, and therefore there was no reason to curse him. Thus, Lord Shiva tried to convince his wife Parvati that her cursing of Chitraketu was not very sensible. Here is a difference between male and female that exists even in the higher statuses of life. In fact, even between Lord Shiva and his wife, Lord Shiva could understand Chitraketu very nicely, but Parvati could not. Thus, even in the higher statuses of life, there is a difference between the understanding of a male and that of a female. It may be clearly said that the understanding of a woman is always inferior to the understanding of a man. In the Western countries, there is now agitation to the effect that man and women should be considered equal. But from this verse, it appears that woman is always less intelligent than man. It is clear that Chitraketu wanted to criticize the behavior of his friend Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva was sitting with his wife on his lap. Then, too, Lord Shiva wanted to criticize Chitraketu for externally posing as a great devotee, but being interested in enjoying with the Vidyadhari women. These were all friendly jokes. There was nothing serious for which Chitraketu should have been cursed by Parvati. Upon hearing the instructions of Lord Shiva, Parvati must have been very much ashamed for cursing Chitraketu to become a demon. Mother Parvati could not appreciate Chitraketu's position, and therefore she cursed him. But when she understood the instructions of Lord Shiva, she was ashamed. So we see, like in this pastime, you know, that Lord Shiva is glorifying. And Lord Shiva begins to glorify from previous few verses the devotees of Lord Hari or Lord Narayan. So in this verse, Prabhupada also says very nicely, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyaha Na Bujaya. Means one cannot predict the activities of the Lord, devotees of the Lord. So much so as one cannot predict the activities of the Supreme Lord. So if one tries to predict, one will be misled how the devotees of the Lord or how the Supreme Lord will act or react to a situation. Because both the Lord and his devotees are liberated. Both are liberated, and both of them are on the qualitatively they are on the equal platform, but quantitatively the devotees knows that they are the servant and the Lord is the master. So in quality, they they have the same, being in association of the Lord. The devotees develop the qualities of the Lord. Like if somebody is in a bad association, he will automatically get that bad qualities. So like if we are in the association of the most auspicious, magnanimous personality, Lord Hari, then we will also imbibe those qualities within us. And we can see that from the life and activities of Srila Prabhupada. No, like from Srila Prabhupada, like no, he was never afraid of any situation. No, like reading through his pastimes in Leela Mrita, we can see how bold. No, that boldness was not arrogance. That boldness was that in Srila Prabhupada came from his surrender to the Lord. And because of that, he was always being blessed. And he always, even though like Srila Prabhupada got so much success from the material side of, we see from the material angle, he was having so much success, so many disciples, so much wealth, so much opulence Prabhupada had, but he never was being misdirected. He was never contaminated by that, because he was always surrendered to the Supreme Lord. And in that surrendering mood, he was always able to get away with all the contamination that comes in association with the material energy. So here we see Lord Shiva is trying to glorify the devotees of the Lord. And then he illustrates what kind of qualities they have. That these devotees of the Lord, of Lord Narayan, we should not be astonished to see their activities. Because they are free from enviousness and attachment. They are not attached to anything material, and they are not envious of anyone. They are always peaceful. They are always equal to everyone. So likewise, Krishna, Prabhupada quotes this verse from Bhagavad Gita 9:29, where Lord also says that he is not partial to anyone. He is equal to everyone. But at the same time, if someone renders devotional service to him, then Lord is also Lord also reciprocates according to that devotee's intentions. So we can see that Lord Shiva is trying to water down the situation, like the gravity with which Mother Parvati took the whole situation and cursed Chitraketu. Lord Shiva is trying to neutralize that by saying that this is something, it was something on a friendly terms, because not only Chitraketu is a devotee, but I am also a devotee of the Lord. And both me and Chitraketu, being both servants of the Supreme Lord, we are like friends. We are on the equal level, being the servants of the Lord. So we are friends, and between the friends, there can always be friendly joking. There can be friendly joking, and the situation should not have been taken with that much, to such an extent where the person opposite party was being cursed to become a demon. And Prabhupada very nicely outlines that there is always a difference between male and a female psychology. So we see sometimes out of context, Prabhupada has been quoted about this situation. One time a reporter was asking Srila Prabhupada, like, what's your opinion about equality of male and female? So Prabhupada said that, very humble, so definitely, like Prabhupada, I'm paraphrasing because I just remember little bits and pieces of this pastime. So when Prabhupada was asked by the reporter what was his opinion about the equality of male and female, and the women and the male class, gents. So Prabhupada said, from the spiritual side, there is no difference. It's a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna, who is residing in both the bodies. So male and female body is just an external dress for the living entity, the spirit soul, right? So spiritually, there is no difference. But there is, like, since that body is there, there is a difference that comes. Like, so when, if somebody wants to have a child, no, then only a women body, only a female body can deliver a child. The male body cannot. No. So likewise, so there is a, spiritually they are same, but there is a difference on the material plane, or a psychological plane. So we see Prabhupada here outlines the same thing again, no, that there is a difference in the mindset, no, like females are more sensitive, they are more emotional, no. And we see this also when after the battle of Kurukshetra was over, when Ashwathama, no, he killed the sleeping sons of the Pandavas, of Draupadi, the 5 sleeping sons he killed in the middle of night, thinking them to be Pandavas. So he killed them. So mother and the Pandavas, Arjun was chasing after Ashwathama as directed by the Lord, and Arjun brought him back, tied in ropes before Krishna, and before Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then Draupadi, even though her sons were brutally killed by Ashwathama in the dead of night while they were sleeping, no. So as a Kshatriya, there should always be like a one-to-one combat. No, it should not be when the other party is not attentive, that somebody can kill them. So this pastime, so we see Ashwathama was heinous. He did this heinous crime of killing just to satisfy his master Duryodhana. So but when he was brought before Yudhishthira Maharaj, Draupadi, she felt, she had that emotional aspect where she felt that she as a mother could feel the pain of losing her 5 children, no. But the solace for her was that her husbands, all the 5 Pandavas, were with her, no. But for Kripi, who was Ashwathama's mother and wife of Dronacharya, she has already lost her husband Dronacharya in the battle. So her only solace is Ashwathama. So as a mother, she could feel the pain of Kripi, and she did not want Ashwathama to be killed, no. And so basically, so that was a situation where Bhima wanted to kill Ashwathama, and Draupadi was not wanting to kill Ashwathama. So Prabhupada there also, he outlined the difference in the psychology of men, in a psychology of a women and a man body. So here also again Prabhupada outlines, so there is no higher or lower, it's just a different psychological understanding. Or women are most driven by emotions, and men are more driven by rational. So it's just a different psychology. So, and the thing is, based on that, Prabhupada outlines here that Mother Parvati could not, being in the female body, she could not understand a friendliness between friendly joking between Lord Shiva and Chitraketu. So Lord Shiva was not offended by that. No, anyways, he is Vaishnav Nam Yatha Shambhu. No, so he is the topmost Vaishnava. But Mother Parvati, no, she was offended, and Prabhupada therefore says that understanding of woman is inferior than the understanding of man. So even though in the Western countries there may be agitations to consider men and women to be the same, but they are not on the equal level. So that is what Prabhupada outlines. So these things out of context has been quoted. but that should not be the case, right? No, here Prabhupada is a Param Vaishnava. No, he is a Paramahamsa. So from him there is no difference. Like, no, he's outlining, and if we know our weakness, then and that's why, no, Prabhupada always used to praise his female disciples, where he said that his female disciples are no less than his male disciples. No, because after coming in the devotional service, after coming on the devotional platform, then there is no difference between this male and a female body, because we are acting on a spiritual platform. Now, as long as we are acting on the material platform, these distinctions have to be understood. No, so no, that's why we as devotees, we are asked not to interact with the opposite gender. No, and that whole thing, like, unless and other than for some preaching engagement, no, just to that point, we should be interacting with the opposite gender. Other than one's wife, everyone should be treated as a mother. No, so all these rules are meant so that we don't get dragged into the sinful life. No, so that's all that thing. No, so we see the so-called yogis who try to practice some yogic practice, in some kind of yoga, in an immature state, they get dragged again into these illicit relationships, and that's why 99% cases that come up, no matter which religious organization it may be. Like, it may be from, like, we see so many sexual scandals happening. So it is because there is a compromise on this basic principle of avoiding the illicit relationships. And the key to that is prevention is better than cure. And to that is, we need to understand, as long as we are on the material plane, we have a distinction between the male and a female body. And as long as we are conscious, as long as we are conscious of that distinction, we will be cautious about it. And being cautious and trying to engage in Krishna consciousness is the key to success. But on the spiritual plane, and there is no such distinction. So here, even though Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, they are on a higher status of life. They are Krishna. They are their Shivlok. Is between the material and the spiritual world. It's in the middle. So they are on the higher platform. But even there, this distinction seems to be there, because Mother Parvati with her had an inferior understanding, and Lord Shiva displays a spiritual understanding. So we should understand that these differences can always be there. And likewise, we can see a similar situation even in Vaikuntha, all the way up till Vaikuntha, where when Bhrigu Muni wanted to see the greatness and he wanted to see the greatness among the three guna avatars, Lord Brahma, who is a controller of mode of passion, Lord Shiva, who is a controller of the mode of ignorance, and Lord Vishnu, who is a controller of mode of goodness. So he wanted to see the greatness among the three. Who is great? So there was a debate among the demigods that who is great. And in that pastime, we see Bhrigu Muni first went to. So Bhrigu Muni is a son of Lord Brahma. So he wanted to see who is great. So he went to on being given a mission by the demigods to test who is great. So he was sent on that mission. So he went to Lord Brahma in Brahmlok, and he did not offer Lord Brahma his obeisances. And Brahma, being the father of Bhrigu Muni, he expected that, he deserved that. And based on that, Lord Brahmaji he got offended, and he was angry at at Bhrigu Muni. So Bhrigu Muni, to the point like, no, he, seeing his anger, Bhrigu Muni ran away from there. So then he went to Lord Shiva, Shivlok. So Lord Shiva, being also born from Lord Brahma's anger. So Lord Shiva also, he was very happy to see Bhrigu Muni. In relation, both are sons of Brahma, so both are brothers. So Lord Shiva went to towards Lord Bhrigu when he saw him and wanted to hug him, welcome him to his Shivlok. But Bhrigu Muni, since he was on that mission to test, so he artificially he said, no, stay away, no, you're not clean, no, you have all this from this ashes from the graveyard, so please stay away, no, you have you associate with the bhutas and all that. So he said that by words, and Lord Shiva was angry. He picked up his trishul, trident, to kill him, and Bhrigu Muni ran away from there. So then he went to Lord Vaikuntha, now Vaikuntha planet, now where Lord Vishnu was residing on the Shesha, and Lakshmi ji was massaging his feet. So there he went directly and he kicked on Lord Vishnu's chest. And in that pastime, Lord Vishnu immediately, he immediately jumped up and he held Lord and Bhrigu Muni's feet, saying that probably that his chest is very hard, like hope it did not hurt his feet, and started massaging Bhrigu Muni's feet. But Lakshmi ji was there, who definitely was very offended by this behavior of Bhrigu Muni, and she cursed the whole Brahmin class to be that that Brahmin class will never be able to have wealth. No, so that was Lakshmi ji's curse. But Lord Vishnu there displayed a higher, he displayed his magnanimity by massaging the feet of Bhrigu Muni. He was not offended, even though the offense that Bhrigu Muni has done towards Lord Vishnu was the gravest, because that was done in a physical. He physically kicked the Lord's chest. No, the less grave was towards Lord Vishnu, towards Lord Shiva, where he spoke those words, and the words that hurt Lord Shiva. And the less grave was towards Lord Brahma, where Brahmaji, he just did not offer him obeisances by his behavior. No, so less grave was towards Lord Brahma, where he did not offer him his respects. More grave was towards Lord Shiva, where he spoke in a harsh way. And the most grave was towards Lord Vishnu, where he physically kicked the Lord's chest. So we see in this pastime, Lakshmi ji was offended there. No, so we see that there is, but definitely that those pastimes are enacted on a spiritual level. Where we should not understand that on a material level. But here we see between Lord Shiva and Lord Mother Parvati, their planet Shivlok is situated between the material and the spiritual planets, spiritual world. So it's in the middle. So here, even though both are highly elevated souls, Lord Shiva is a Param Vaishnav, Vaishnav Nam Yatha Shambhu, and he is a topmost Vaishnava. Mother Parvati, she represents the material energy of the Lord, which is the inferior energy of the Lord. But still, being in that body of a male and a female, there is a difference in terms of their understanding. And we see, and as long as we are conscious of these shortcomings in a particular dress that the living entity has been given, so we will be cautious in acting in those bodies. And if we are cautious in acting in those bodies and sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, then we can be safe in this material world, and at the end we can all go back home, back to Godhead. No, where we will have the spiritual body, where the spiritual body is the soul. There is no difference between the soul and the body. It's there is no duality there. No, it's one and the same. So that we should all understand. No, so and also we can see that Chitraketu was also kind of, he also acted a little bit inappropriately, because he should not have laughed. No, and that was definitely. But and at the same time, he was also traveling in that aeroplane with the women from the Vidyadhar planet. No, definitely, he was in a male body, and he was glorifying he was singing the glories of the Lord, but there was no reason for him to be enjoying the company of the women from the Vidyadhar planet. So even though he was posing, he was posing as a devotee, glorifying the Lord, but at the same time he was associating with the opposite gender, no, which was not appropriate for him. So, and Mother Parvati, she definitely, Prabhupada says, she would have felt ashamed by being instructed about the glories of the devotees of the Lord. And at the same time, the devotees of the Lord also have high expectation, that they should be very, very cautious in dealing with the opposite gender. Any opposite, any lady, any female other than one's wife should be treated as a mother. And and we should try to avoid association with the opposite gender as much as possible. uh, just to the point of preaching, no, just to the point of doing our spiritual service, we may interact, but other than that, we should stay away. No, as a brahmachari, if we can resist the temptation of of attraction for the opposite gender, then if we can resist, then we don't have to even go to the grastha ashram. Such a elevated soul can directly go to the sannyas ashram, no, vanaprasth and sannyas. But if someone cannot give away with that temptation, then he should properly go through this family life, where one marries in a Vedic system, and he begets children, complete the family responsibilities, goes to the vanaprasth and sannyas. Otherwise, there is no reason for having treating, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed by his own example. He was he was a grasta, and being a grasta, he was living with his mother, so he was bound to have a wife. It cannot be like one is living in a one is working, and he is just not acting as a grasta. Grasta means one should have a wife and children, and one should not be like a monkey jumping from one branch to another, enjoying with the different women without taking the responsibility of a family life. So a lot of these pastimes are very, very important from us to understand, as Prabhupada has given the purpose. And based on those purpose, we can not only make our life successful, but we can help others also understand these things in a better perspective. So out of context things, when quoted, they will be dangerous, and they will be resulting in our fall down from the spiritual path. So we should always see them in the context, and we should always see how the great acharyas are trying to tell us the information. And if we are following in the footpath of the great acharyas, then we will be protected in this material world, and then at the end of the life we can go back home, back to Godhead. So I conclude here. So we have covered verses 34 and 35 today, and I will open up the forum for any questions or any additions that devotees may want to do. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. anybody wants to add any comments or any questions or anything in the from today's discussion?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectar class.
Hare
And you
Krishna.
explained very nicely about the Grahastha life and pastimes of Mother Lakshmi and Parvati. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. I don't have any question.
Sure.
Thank you so much for this nectar class.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Prabhupada has done that. We are just repeating what Prabhupada has done, actually. Yeah. And
Yes, Prabhuji.
thank you. Like in that elderly age, he was spending his night time writing these purports so that we can take the benefit and go back home, back to Godhead. Thank you. Yeah. So I guess we can conclude today's discussion. Vancha kalptarubhaischa kirpa sindhu bhaivacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, His Grace Gaur Gadadhar Prabhu ji ki jai.
All the Vaishnava assembled Vaishnava devotees ki jai. Hare
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.